Alright, hello. Blind Moogie here with another weapon review. Blind because I accidentally broke my glasses. Whoops. But it's fine. I can still look at this and make videos about it. And honestly, I am kind of disappointed and kind of not disappointed at the same time, and I will explain. So, with the War Prime, right? The War is an absolutely legendary weapon in Warframe. It is the weapon that when you get it the first time from killing the Stalker, like for the millionth time, you're like, oh my god, finally, I got it, like finally. And then you try it and, you know, it's okay, it's not the greatest, it's not the worst, but it's just an okay weapon. Right now, with the War Prime, the regular War has 250, this is 2.6, I have Tenacious Bone so it shows a bit differently, and 26% status chance. The War Prime has 3.2x critical damage, which is, I think, the highest out of every melee weapon that isn't an Incarnate. Like, from the non-Incarnate melee weapons, I think the War Prime has the highest critical damage out of every melee, and it also has really high status chance. It sadly is impact-based, just like the regular War, they didn't change that. But that's not the reason why I'm disappointed, because I love the War. The War is a really stylish weapon, and the War Prime, in style, it definitely delivers. This is a beautiful weapon, like, look at this. My god, this is a pretty weapon. That's not the issue. The issue is, it doesn't have anything unique about it. It's still just a regular heavy sword that's impact based. They didn't add any passive to it, they didn't make it so that slam attacks do something different, heavy attacks do something different. They didn't make it so that, you know, reaching 12x maybe gives you a buff, killing enough people gives you a buff. They could have done something. You know, they could really have done something. The War Prime compared to the War is just a stats increase and then a better visual, basically. That's all there is to this weapon. So the build is the same as the regular War. I haven't changed anything. And this is the interesting thing about the War. With War Prime, sorry. Usually, with new weapons, right? You get 0.5 Riven Disposition. However, this is not 0.5 Riven Disposition. This, in fact, isn't even 1 out of 5 dots. This thing is lying right here. This is 2, maybe even 3 out of 5 dots, the stats we're seeing here. Because look, 105, 109%, if we go to the regular War, we'll see a bit better stats with 110 and 114, but this is 3 dots right here. So the War Prime is also like either maxed out 2 dots or low 3 dots on the Riven Disposition. And I'm not sure if this is a bug or if this is intentional. Like, I don't know if it's genuinely lying to my face right now. But this Riven is giving some really good stats to this weapon. Like, some ridiculously good stats to this weapon. I hope it's not a bug, and I hope that D actually gives us some Riven dispositions that are decent for newer weapons, but just know this is most likely a bug. Sadly. Maybe they will acknowledge it and they will say that, okay, War Prime is not even like that strong of a weapon, so maybe we can have a decent Riven disposition. I will say though, I'm really happy with how it is right now. I hope that doesn't get fixed. If it does get fixed, I will have a pinned comment on it. Because as you can see, I have 12.6 times critical damage on a weapon without even using melee Dodi. I'm using melee animosity. In theory, if you want to go for pure toxin and use afflictions and then go with the rending crane stance, you do like this attack or this attack or even this attack or even, I don't know, no, this attack doesn't work. But these two work, and then the heavy attack also works. These can give you some really decent afflictions proc if you try to go for Prime Fever Strike, and then you can maybe do the same build and go Elementalist here if you have attack speed from elsewhere. If you don't have attack speed from elsewhere, simply change this Riven mode and add attack speed through this, because the regular attack speed on this weapon, even if Rending Crane is a pretty quick stance, it's not enough. It seriously isn't enough, sadly. But I will say, this stance, you don't get this regularly. When you get the War Prime, it will be a deep polarity and it fits Tempo Royale, Cleaving Whirlwind. And in my opinion, both these stances, especially Tempo Royale, this has fallen off grace dramatically. It used to be the best stance way back in like Melee 2.0, but Rending Crane is just way too overpowered compared to the other two stances, so definitely change it. It will increase your damage dramatically once you do this. And yeah, my Riven has critical damage and toxin. I'm going pure toxin on this weapon. I think pure toxin is one of the best things you can do in melee weapons, especially if they're not slash based. If they're slash based, you can probably do like viral, but since this isn't slash based, then either toxin or corrosive would be by far the best you can do. Corrosive isn't bad though. Yeah, if you want to go corrosive, you could also like go ahead and add maybe melee exposure for corrosive here, or you know, something else. But I like it this way. I enjoyed this playstyle, and I think it is pretty decent. So I'm gonna go ahead and showcase this fashion. And yeah, I'm just taking this wisp because she is tanky. She doesn't have any type of damage increases for melee weapons at all inside her kit. So we're gonna see the Warframe and how powerful it is on its own. And then I'm gonna take a wisp with 5 purple swords, showcase how high the crit damage goes, and then showcase like how good it can be. In general, I'm happy we got a Warframe. I think it's great. If you want to get your hands onto a Warframe, I forgot to tell you. Wait, spoiler. If you haven't played the new quests, I mean, this whole video is a spoiler. I mean, I'm talking about this. I don't know. Anyways, spoiler alert. Skip like to 10 seconds or something. When you finish the quest, you go to Hanhao, and then you buy the Hanhao's trinket. That's it. Then you build it. Alright, spoiler over. The weapon has some really incredible stats. As you can see, I'm getting quite a bit of status because it has some high status chance already. And in terms of damage, it's not that bad either, like damage per hit, but the heavy attacks with the mostly are hitting for a ton of damage. And I think I need to lower the audio of my game. Give me a second. The audio of my game is a bit too loud right now. My fault. But yeah, the heavy attacks on this weapon definitely hit with Tenokai. They are absolutely incredible. In general, this weapon, compared to the War, is a pretty decent upgrade, especially because the Riven mode is also, like, there, the Riven mode disposition. The highest damage I've dealt with this weapon with a purple shards wisp so far has been, like, I think 80 million, and it was while leveling the weapon up, which means I was missing modes. I can probably do way more than that. So yeah, after I'm gonna take the melee wisp, go all in, and then try to show the best damage that I can do, maybe. Like, I think I can do some really insane damage here in general. Swap the Kavat to some other Kavat, like take a Panzer Bupafila for viral, take the Wisp with purple shards and Eclipse maybe. But yeah, as a baseline, this weapon is not bad. Especially because it's basically free. It's so easy to get that it's unbelievable. Like, I don't even know if the mastery rank for this weapon does anything. Because, like, the way you get it is after you craft the item, then you just press the item on the foundry, and then the sword just appears in your inventory. You don't, like, see a message, you don't do a quest, or you don't do anything. It just appears in your inventory. So I don't think there is like a mastery rank requirement for this. There might be a mastery rank, but I don't know if there is a requirement for mastery rank for this. Somebody tell me in the comments and tell me if I'm wrong here, because I'm obviously above MR30. I can tell this, but this weapon I think is MR15 or something, and I don't think it matters. I think you can probably get it regardless of your mastery. Let's see. So it is, yeah, MR15. As you can see, MR15 weapon. Stats are really insane. If it was slash instead of impact, or if it had some other like gimmick that you could play through, this weapon would be incredible and better than the exec. But the exec is still the king for heavy blades. I think the damage on this weapon is nice, but it's not enough to carry it above the damage of the exec. The exec is just too powerful compared to this, like straight up. But yeah, you can do this to acolytes. If you get a heavy attack, the acolyte just dies instantly, and you can probably build this for like some slam build and then have fun with it, because its stances are all like decent. But obviously the biggest issue with this weapon is follow through, and if you do slam attacks and that bypasses follow through, it turns it into an AoE, and that gets way more value. In general though, it's a really fun weapon. Really like Redding Crane, the fun stuns. It has this also, which is like the most dumb combo in the game. This is the blow combo from Red Crane. You just keep doing this attack that knocks people down and deals 500 damage. 500 damage per hit is pretty insane. Like, the heavy attack from this weapon does 600 damage. So 500 damage is actually just nuts. So that attack deals a ton of damage. It's actually, like, disgusting. Also, sorry about that. I think I had a hiccup. It's okay. In general, maybe if we had something else outside from the base stats, this weapon would have been like top tier or something. Right now, it's still a solid weapon, and if you don't have a very good melee weapon, you should definitely try this out because it's really fun. Any Tennokai units, and then just melee animosity afflictions or something to just give you damage, and you go to town. It's so good. So, gonna do one more mission, the same mission in fact, but this time I'm gonna take the Wisp with purple shards, a Panzer Papafila to Prime, and then just absolutely chill on that mission and see how much damage we can actually do, because I feel like we can probably go to 9 digits, and 9 digits would be really nice to look at. The best thing about the weapon is definitely the looks. This weapon is so gorgeous, like, wow, look at it. This is such a beautiful weapon. Go to the other Wisp, she has 10 Forma, Eclipse. I could also maybe change this, but I think I'm gonna take Animosity for the extra critical damage. And then go here, change this guy. This. Oh no, this. I think that's good. I think overall, like, the idea for the update and the missions they added are really nice, by the way. It's just a shame that the update is so unbelievably broken. Like, it's one of the most buggy updates that I've played. And I have played during the Railjack and Kuva Leeches era when they first got introduced. Sadly, this update rivals those updates. Yesterday, when I was trying to farm the Arcane so I can make the video about it, showcasing every interaction, I had to restart my game at least 10 times in like 3 hours of playing. Because whenever I would try to load into the mission, it would just give me a permanent please wait screen. And like, I kid you not, I waited on that please wait screen at some point for 10 minutes just to make sure it wasn't just a mission loading from like a low-end computer or something. No, it's not. You just get stuck there forever for some reason. The game just never puts you in the mission and you get stuck in that loading screen. And you're unable to do anything. You can't get out of it, you can't escape it. You can only press Alt F4 and just kill the game and then open it again. It's so weird. I don't know. But there is some really great ideas with the update overall. And I really like how the missions were executed. The fight with Garuda especially is really, really nice. I think the one with Ash is a bit like less interesting. Because you don't fight him mostly, you fight like random mobs and then you throw stuff at a canister or like a fire pot, whatever that shit is in the middle. For Garuda, you actually fight Garuda. Like, it feels like a proper fight, which I like a lot. There are some other really good quality of life changes about this update that I really love, and people are kind of ignoring it because they are really focused on the issues at hand, which is how buggy the update is. So I'm here to actually spread some positivity about these updates and say some positive stuff about it. Because we have DLSS 4 and FSR 3.1 on this update. Right now, I am using FSR 3.1. Before, FSR looked abysmal. It was basically unusable. Right now, with the FSR 3, I am getting a stable 240 FPS easily, which I couldn't do before. Like, at all, I would never get 240 FPS stable, ever. And the game also looks crazy good. Also, we just saw our first decent damage number, I think 27 million. Followed by 20 million right there. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, as you can see right now, I'm using upscaling. And we see that the game looks fine. The game looks great. No issues whatsoever. And I just get stable FPS. So yeah, big W's on that from DE. The other one is the DOT thing, which will finally maybe make people realize how OP some of the weapons I strive for people to check out are. One of them being the Tenet Glaxion. The Tenet Glaxion, when you try it now and you see the DOT from the damage it deals, you're gonna be like, ah, okay, like that's cool. Same with the Koda Pokes. The DOT from the Koda Pokes is just Jesus. Like I saw that shit on the simulacrum. One bullet is enough to kill like level 300 heavy gunners, or 230, whatever items one. While Eximus, by the way, like it's enough to kill them with one bullet. No buffs, no anything. So yeah, there is oh, there it is, 248 million. By the way, 248 million damage. So yeah, this weapon is able to put out some really insane damage numbers when you try and max it out, and you can probably hit damage cap with it very easily if you like go with the full primer setup, but it hits 9 digits quite easily, which is very impressive. It does need a lot of investment to do 9 digits, but I think it's genuinely not bad, and especially if you're someone who is searching for a good and fun melee weapon to actually use a melee weapon instead of like slam attacking or doing other shit. This is like a really good candidate. Very easy to get, really powerful from the get-go, very good stats. Just add attack speed and you're good. Right now my attack speed is at 113% for this. As you can see, it's very agile, so something like 70% from Berserker Fury is enough, but going Berserker Fury and Arcane Strike at the same time would probably be the ideal scenario for this weapon in terms of attack speed, just to make it feel nice and get the results that I'm getting for it. But yeah, the Rending Crane stance also helps a lot. This is a really fast stance. So yeah, I'm gonna do this attack on the Acolyte so you can see. It's just 2 hits and she dies. That's what I was talking about before. And we dealt 112 million to that guy. Yeah, remember that like block attack I was talking about? Yeah, that's basically that. I didn't even need to hit her a second time because she would just bleed to death or get toxins to death. But you know, I just did it because obviously just wanna get as much damage numbers as possible. That's the only reason I'm here anyway. I want to get a decent heavy attack with like... Give me the Tenokai. Give me Tenokai. Tenokai! 195 million plus 71 million. Yeah, that's pretty decent. I think it's a good weapon. I don't know, like I think as a heavy blade especially, this probably is the second best heavy blade in the entire game. Which isn't a bad thing. The best heavy blade, the Tenet Exec, is just... It's a really strong weapon overall. It's like one of the best melee weapons in the entire game, unironically. So I don't really feel bad that this weapon was kinda underwhelming in terms of performance. But the only reason it's bad in terms of performance or underwhelming in terms of performance is because it doesn't have any weird gimmick. Like if this had the gimmick of the Exec, this would have been a completely different story. The Warframe with something like the gimmick of the Exec would have literally like top 3 contestants for best like E-spam melee weapons in the game. It's really good. Stat-wise, this weapon is amazing. Like its stats are goated. Nothing even comes close from anything else in the heavy blade category. It just doesn't have anything interesting to actually play with those stats aside from its stance and its heavy attacks. So at the end of the day, it becomes just a regular melee weapon that looks really nice and has really high base stats. It is what it is. I don't mind it. I just wish I had a bit more because I just crave a bit more from something that looks this nice. Thank you very much for watching another video of mine, and I will see you on the next one.